All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is Subhadra Ramachandran. The headlines. President Draupadi Murmu to flag off 2 train services in Northeast today, to also inaugurate supercomputer facility at IIT Guwahati. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to flag off Vande Bharat Express today to connect Una in Himachal Pradesh with the national capital, to also dedicate Indian Institute of Information Technology Una to the nation. Union Cabinet approved 78 days wages as bonus to railway employees. Multi-State Cooperative Societies Amendment Bill 2022 also gets Cabinet approval. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says growth will be among top priorities of 2023-24 Union Budget. Government forms expert committee to probe WHO report on deaths of children in Gambia following consumption of Made in India cough syrups. US and India to work together to support shared vision of free and open Indo-Pacific, says Biden administration's national security strategy. UN General Assembly adopt resolution condemning annexation of 4 Ukrainian regions by Russia. 36th National Games comes to a close at a glittering ceremony in Surat, Goa to host 37th National Games in October next year. And in cricket, both semi-final matches of Women's Asia Cup being played today at Sylhet in Bangladesh. And now the news in detail. President Draupadi will flag off the special extension of Guwahati-Kolkata-Guwahati train up to Agartala, an extension of Agartala-Jiribam-Agartala Jan Shatabdi Express up to Khongsang, Manipur from Agartala railway station today. At IIT Guwahati, the President will virtually inaugurate and lay the foundation stones for various projects of Union Ministries of Electronics and Information Technology, Health and Family Welfare and Government of Assam. These include supercomputer facility Param Kamaroop and the facility for the design and development of high-power microwave components at IIT Guwahati, Medical College and Hospital at Dhubri, and Zonal Institutes of National Institute of Virology NIV at Dibrugarh, Assam and Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh. In the evening, the President will attend a civic reception and cultural program to be hosted in her honor at the Assam Administrative Staff College, Guwahati. The President is on a 3-day visit to Tripura and Assam. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Himachal Pradesh today. He will flag off Vande Bharat Express from Una to New Delhi. It will be the 4th Vande Bharat train to be introduced in the country. The introduction of the train will help boost tourism in the region and provide a comfortable and faster mode of travel. Mr. Modi will also dedicate Indian Institute of Information Technology, IIT, Una, to the nation. The foundation stone of this institute was laid by the Prime Minister in 2017. In a public function at Chamba, the Prime Minister will lay the foundation stone of 2 hydropower projects. These projects will generate over 270 million units of electricity annually, and Himachal Pradesh is expected to get an annual revenue of around 110 crore rupees. Mr. Modi will also launch Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana 3 in Himachal Pradesh for upgradation of around 3,125 kilometers of roads in the state. We spoke to Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Jairam Thakur about the PM's visit to the state.
प्रधानमंत्री जी फिर से एक बार हिमाचल प्रदेश आ रहे हैं और ऊना में पहुंचने के पश्चात जहां पर वंदे भारत ट्रेन की शुरुआत कर रहे हैं, एक बहुत बड़ी सौगात हिमाचल प्रदेश के लिए होगी। और उसके साथ साथ दूसरा महत्वपूर्ण प्रोजेक्ट हमारे हिमाचल प्रदेश के लिए जो बर्गटक फार्मा पार्क, जिसके लिए पूरे देश भर में मात्र 3 जगह बनने की संभावनाएं थी और उसमें से एक हिमाचल को प्राप्त हुआ है, जिसमें 20,000 से ज्यादा नौजवानों को रोजगार की संभावनाएं होंगी। ट्रिपल आईटी का आज इनॉग्रेशन है और 128 करोड़ रुपए की लागत से बन करके तैयार हुआ है। दूसरा कार्यक्रम आज चंबा जिला में है, जो हमारा एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट है। जिले में आकर के प्रधानमंत्री जी 3000 करोड़ रुपए का DMGSY फेज 3 का शुभारंभ करने जा रहे हैं। उसके साथ साथ में 2 हाइडल प्रोजेक्ट का शिलान्यास होना है। लगभग 800 करोड़ रुपए की लागत से बन करके वो तैयार होंगे। कुल मिलाकर के 3800 करोड़ रुपए की सौगात चंबा जिला को मिलने वाली है।
Union Home Minister Amit Shah will launch the Gujarat Gaurav Yatra on 3 routes today. Mr. Shah will flag off one yatra from Sant Savayanath Temple at Zanzarka village in Ahmedabad district. The yatra will be concluded at Somnath in Saurashtra region. He will also launch the other 2 routes from Unai Mata Temple in Vansa Taluka of Navsari district. This includes one Birsa Munda tribal yatra from Unai to Ambaji Temple, which will pass through 14 tribal districts of the state, covering 31 assembly constituencies. Another yatra, which will also begin from Unai, will conclude at Phagwel in the Kheda district, covering 35 assembly constituencies. Bharatiya Janata Party is launching the Gujarat Gaurav Yatra on 5 different routes to reach out to people ahead of the state assembly elections, out of which 2 yatra were flagged off by BJP National President JP Nadda yesterday. Various union ministers will be participating in the yatra at various places in the state. The Union Cabinet has approved the Multi-State Cooperative Societies Amendment Bill 2022. It seeks to amend the Multi-State Cooperative Societies Act 2002. Briefing media in New Delhi yesterday, Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur said the decision will improve governance, enhance transparency and accountability in the multi-state cooperative societies. He said election authority will be set up to ensure fair, free and timely elections.
कोऑपरेटिव सेक्टर का एक बहुत बड़ा रोल भारत में है। हमने देखा महाराष्ट्र, गुजरात, कई राज्यों में बहुत बड़ी संख्या में है और इसी के कारण के चलते प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कोऑपरेटिव्स बनाई थी, जेम के साथ कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटीज को जोड़ा गया, वो भी एक बड़ा कदम था। इसी तरह से जो संशोधन मल्टीपल स्टेट कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटीज में लाया गया है, इसके इलेक्शन से लेके, प्रबंधन से लेके, ऑडिट से लेके, बैंकिंग रेगुलेशन एक्ट तक, ये सारे पहलुओं पर ध्यान रखा गया है ताकि इससे जुड़े हुए इसके मेंबर जो है उनके साथ कोई धोखाधड़ी भी ना हो सके, परिजनों को कोई फालतू का लाभ भी ना मिले, जिसके कारण के बैंकिंग का भी नुकसान हो, इसके डिपॉजिटर्स का भी नुकसान हो। इसकी इफेक्टिवनेस आए, उस दिशा में भी कदम उठाए गए हैं। सीईओ की नियुक्ति से लेकर उम्र भी 21 साल से 70 साल की गई, 70 साल से ज्यादा वाला नहीं होगा, ये भी उसमें प्रावधान किया है। तो सारे वो कदम है जो इसमें ट्रांसपेरेंसी लाने की बात करता है और जवाबदेही तय करने की बात करता है।
Our correspondent reports that the proposed amendments covering major areas of operation and management will go a long way in strengthening the cooperative movement in the country.
India has more than 1,500 multi-state cooperative societies serving as an important tool to promote economic and social betterment of their members. In order to make the governance of these multi-state cooperative societies more democratic, transparent and accountable, provisions for setting up a cooperative election authority, cooperative information officer and cooperative ombudsman have been proposed in the amendment. Provisions relating to representation of women and scheduled caste and scheduled tribe members in the board of cooperative societies have been included to facilitate inclusiveness. Co-opted directors with experience in the field of banking, management and finance will be appointed to promote professional management. The amendment has also been proposed to enhance ease of doing business by reducing the period of registration with a provision for applicants to seek additional time of 2 months for rectification of mistakes. It also provides for electronic submission and issuance of documents. Divakar, AR News, Delhi.
The Union Cabinet has approved payment of productivity-linked bonus equivalent to 78 days to railway employees for the financial year 2021-22. Briefing reporters after the Cabinet meeting, Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur said the bonus amount will be paid to about 11,27,000 non-gazetted railway employees.
रेल विभाग के 11,27,000 कर्मचारियों को हर वर्ष पूजा के अवसर पर प्रोडक्टिविटी लिंक्ड बोनस दिया जाता है और इस बार 11,27,000 एम्प्लॉइज को 1,832 करोड़ रुपए का ये इंसेंटिव बोनस दिया जाएगा, जो 78 दिन का बोनस होगा और 17,951 रुपए जो है ये मैक्सिमम की लिमिट की जो 78 दिन के लिए है। एलिजिबिलिटी जो है इसमें ट्रैक मेंटेनर्स, ड्राइवर्स, गार्ड, स्टेशन मास्टर, सुपरवाइजर, टेक्नीशियन, टेक्निकल हेल्पर, कंट्रोलर, पॉइंट्समैन और ग्रुप सी के स्टाफ, ये सब लोग उसमें रहते हैं। 1832 करोड़ का लाभ ये प्रोडक्टिविटी लिंक बोनस रेल कर्मचारियों को दिया गया है।
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said that growth will be among top priorities of the Union budget for 2023-24. She said the forthcoming Union budget will be carefully structured, where the focus will be on maintaining growth momentum. Ms. Sitharaman was speaking at an event organized by the Brookings Institute in Washington. She said the forthcoming budget will also focus on addressing concerns arising out of inflation. On the issue of rising public debt and fiscal deficit, Ms. Sitharaman said in the last two budgets, central government focused on increased capital expenditure to revive the economy post-pandemic era. Speaking about the immediate risks being faced by India, Finance Minister said that energy and fertilizer requirements were one of the most immediate challenges the country faced. She said due to the rising international prices of fertilizers, there was a crisis and this is an immediate challenge along with energy requirements. Elaborating on managing the economy during the pandemic days, Ms. Sitharaman said, due to the digitalization of the economy, India managed to provide food grains to the needy during lockdowns. Immediate relief was provided to the people due to financial inclusion infrastructure, which the government had already created, she said. The Centre has formed a 4-member expert committee to investigate the report sent by World Health Organization (WHO) on the deaths of 66 children in Gambia by consumption of cough syrups from Sonipat-based company Maiden Pharmaceuticals Limited. The expert committee will be chaired by Vice Chairperson of Standing National Committee on Medicines, Dr. Y.K. Gupta. Members of the committee are Dr. Pragya Yadav of ICMR, National Institute of Virology, Pune, Dr. Aarti Behel of Division of Epidemiology, National Center for Disease Control, NCDC, New Delhi, and A.K. Pradhan, Joint Drugs Controller of Central Drug Standard Control Organization, CDSCO. Official sources said the government is alert and has formed a committee to investigate the report sent by the WHO. It said the production of cough syrups by Maiden Pharmaceuticals Limited has been suspended and lab report is awaited.
The News Services Division of All India Radio will bring an exclusive interview with Election Commissioner of India, Anup Chandra Pandey, in our program Countrywide tonight. Stay tuned to FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards to listen to the interview. This will also be available on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official and our website newsonair.nic.in.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. President Draupadi Murmu will to flag off 2 train services in Northeast today to also inaugurate supercomputer facility at IIT Guwahati. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to flag off Vande Bharat Express today to connect Una in Himachal Pradesh with national capital. To also dedicate Indian Institute of Information Technology Una to the nation. Union Cabinet approves 78 days wages as bonus to railway employees. Multi-State Cooperative Societies Amendment Bill 2022 also gets Cabinet approval. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says growth will be among top priorities of 2023-24 Union budget. Government forms expert committee to probe WHO report on deaths of children in Gambia following consumption of made in India cough syrups. US and India to work together to support shared vision of free and open Indo-Pacific, says Biden administration's national security strategy. UN General Assembly adopt resolution condemning annexation of 4 Ukrainian regions by Russia. 36 National Games comes to a close at glittering ceremony in Surat. Goa to host 37 National Games in October next year. And in cricket, both semi-final matches of Women's Asia Cup being played today at Sylhet in Bangladesh. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
जब जुड़े लोग से लोग वोट बने तब लोकतंत्र का सिस्टम जब जुड़े लोग से लोग वोट बने तब लोकतंत्र का सिस्टम मतदाता जुड़ते जाए बने तब ऐसा नया कनेक्शन मतदाता जुड़ते जाए बने तो ऐसा नया कनेक्शन मतदाता जंक्शन हैशटैग मतदाता जंक्शन हैशटैग मतदाता जंक्शन
Northeast Diary program, broadcast every Thursday and Sunday at 5:30 p.m. brings very interesting and enchanting stories from the 8 Indian states of Northeast India. In this week's Northeast Diary, that is the 13th of October, we bring an exclusive interview with Dr. Omji Upadhyay, Director, Indian Council of Historical Research, Delhi. Looking forward to see you there.
Welcome back to the morning news on All India Radio. India has asserted that the entire territory of Jammu and Kashmir is and will always be an integral part of the country, in a befitting response to Pakistan after it raked up the Kashmir issue during the UN General Assembly debate on Russia. India's permanent representative to the UN, Ruchira Kambod, said it has been witnessed yet again an attempt by one delegation to misuse this forum and make frivolous and pointless remarks against India. She said such a statement deserves collective contempt from a mindset which repeatedly utters falsehoods. She called on Pakistan to stop cross-border terrorism so that citizens can enjoy their right to life and liberty. After abstaining on the UNGA resolution condemning Russia, India expressed deep concern at the escalation of the conflict in Ukraine, including targeting of civilian infrastructure and deaths of civilians. The United States and India will work together to support their shared vision of a free and open Indo-Pacific. This was stated by the Biden administration's National Security Strategy, a declassified version of which was released last night. It said, as India is the world's largest democracy and a major defense partner, the US and India will work together bilaterally and multilaterally to support our shared vision of a free and open Indo-Pacific. The strategy has identified China as one of the major threats to American national security. The strategy has reaffirmed US ironclad commitments to its Indo-Pacific treaty allies, Australia, Japan, South Korea, the Philippines and Thailand. It said the US will continue to modernize these alliances. The US, India and several other world powers have been talking about the need to ensure a free, open and thriving Indo-Pacific in the backdrop of China's rising military maneuvering in the region. China claims nearly all of the disputed South China Sea, though Taiwan, the Philippines, Brunei, Malaysia and Vietnam all claims parts of it.
Over the past 75 years since independence, India's largest public service broadcaster, All India Radio, has been the proverbial storyteller for crores of people across the country. All India Radio celebrating 75 years of freedom with the series Azad Bharat Ki Baat, Akashvani ke Saath. It showcases the journey of India since independence in various walks of life through the storytelling of All India Radio. In today's episode, we bring you the story of India's achievements in space programs.
India's space programs have grown and evolved significantly in the last decades. Some of the key turning points in the country's space journey include the launch of Aryabhat satellite, PSLV, GSLV, Mission Shakti and Mars Orbiter mission. Overall, India has been fairly successful in these efforts. The space research activities were initiated in India during the early 1960s, when applications using satellites were in experimental stages, even in the United States. Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, the founding father of Indian space program, formed the Indian National Committee for Space Research, INCOSPAR, in 1962, with Dr. Sarabhai leading the charge. INCOSPAR set up the Thumba Equatorial Rocket Launching Station in Thiruvananthapuram for upper atmospheric research.
It is not accidental that on the soil of India, the great space powers, the United States, the USSR and France, are collaborating with us at the equatorial range near Thumba. And even the United Nations sponsorship of this range is not merely a matter of form, but constitutes an umbrella under which, regardless of political differences, nations can collaborate in the peaceful uses of outer space.
INCOSPAR then grew and became the Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, on August the 15th, 1969. The prime objective of ISRO is to develop space technology and its application to various national needs. ISRO is one of the 6 largest space agencies in the world. Named after the noted Indian astronomer, Aryabhat was India's first satellite, which was launched on April the 19th, 1975 from Kapustin Yar, a Soviet rocket launch and development site in Astrakhan Oblast, using a Cosmos 3M launch vehicle. Aryabhat was built by ISRO. Bhaskar-1, India's second satellite, was also launched with Soviet assistance. Rohini was launched in 1980, becoming the first Indian satellite to be successfully placed in orbit by Satellite Launch Vehicle SLV-3, a country-made launch vehicle. In 1984, Air Force pilot Rakesh Sharma was the first Indian to go into space, riding in a Soviet spacecraft. He spoke to then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi from space during a joint television news conference.
ऊपर से भारत कैसा दिखता है आपको?
जी मैं बगैर किसी झिझक के कह सकता हूँ कि सारे जहां से अच्छा.
Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle PSLV has successfully launched 2 spacecraft, Chandrayaan-1 in 2008 and Mars Orbiter spacecraft in 2013. Chandrayaan-1 was India's first moon mission. It was the first unmanned lunar probe under the Chandrayaan program and was launched in October 2008 by ISRO. Mars Orbiter mission was the country's first interplanetary mission. India became the 4th space agency in the world to reach Mars orbit after Roscosmos, NASA and the European Space Agency. It also made India the first nation in the world to reach the Martian orbit in its maiden attempt. The spacecraft Mangalyaan was launched on November the 5th, 2013 and reached Mars orbit on the 24th of September 2014. At just $74 million, the mission cost less than the estimated $100 million budget of the science fiction blockbuster Hollywood movie Gravity. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said everything about Mangalyaan is indigenous and we reached Mars at a smaller budget than a Hollywood movie.
कि अमेरिका की हॉलीवुड जो फिल्म बनती है मूवी, उससे भी कम खर्चे में हमारे वैज्ञानिकों ने काम किया है. यानी इससे ज्यादा खर्चा तो हॉलीवुड की मूवी बनाने में होता है.
India is striving towards self-reliant space applications and ISRO has developed a cost-effective and reliable satellite launch system. Another brilliant innovation by ISRO is the GSLV, which has the capability to put a heavier payload in orbit than the PSLV. In a first-of-its-kind attempt, the Defence Research and Development Organization managed to successfully neutralize a satellite in space with its anti-satellite ASAT missile on March the 27th, 2019. This was one of the most important and complex missions that was undertaken by the DRDO, and it was named Mission Shakti. It demonstrated the organization's ability to defend India's assets even in space.
Azad Bharat Ki Baat, Akashvani ke saath can be accessed on @AIR News Alerts on Twitter, News on Air official YouTube channel, News on Air app, Facebook and Instagram handles. So, tune in to All India Radio News for Azad Bharat Ki Baat, Akashvani ke saath. United Nations General Assembly UNGA has adopted a resolution condemning the Russian annexation of the 4 Ukrainian regions. A total of 143 members voted in favor of the resolution, while 5 voted against it. As many as 35 abstained from the resolution, including India. The General Assembly called on all countries not to recognize the move, reinforcing a diplomatic international isolation of Moscow. Only 4 countries joined Russia in voting against the resolution, including Syria, Nicaragua, North Korea and Belarus. The resolution comes days after Russia vetoed a similar proposal in Security Council in which India had abstained. This vote comes 2 days after Ukraine and Russia clashed in the UNGA on Monday.
The 36th National Games came to a close with a glittering ceremony at Surat yesterday evening. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar chaired the closing ceremony. Speaking on the occasion, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar said, "The day is not far when the country will host the Olympic Games, the largest sports in the world." He said, under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, a positive atmosphere is being created for sports in the country. The Vice President stressed the spirit of sportsmanship in the Games.
I have no doubt, I am confident, the day is not far when India Bharat will host Olympics, जो विकास की गंगा जो स्पोर्ट्स के लिए जरूरी है, विकास के लिए जरूरी है, अर्थव्यवस्था के लिए जरूरी है, वो हर जगह बह रही है। खेल के मामले में एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बात है, हार जीत निश्चित है, पर एक चीज की जीत है, और वो जीत है स्पोर्ट्समैनशिप की। यहाँ से आप लोगों ने जो मेरे सामने मिनी भारत है संबंध बनाए हैं, लोगों से जानकारी की है, एंड दैट विल टेक ऑल ऑफ यू वेरी फार।
On the concluding day yesterday, services topped the medal tally with a total of 128 medals, including 61 gold, 35 silver and 32 bronze medals. Maharashtra secured the number 2 position with 140 medals, including 39 gold, and Haryana at number 3 with 116 medals with 38 gold. The winners were awarded on the occasion. Harshika Ramachandran from Karnataka won the best female player of the 36th National Games, and Sajan Prakash from Kerala won the best male player of the Games. About 7,500 players from 36 states and union territories participated in 36 types of sports competitions held in 6 cities of the state. Goa will host the 37th National Games in October next year. The Goa delegation received the IOA flag at the closing ceremony of the 36th National Games in Surat yesterday.
In women's cricket, both semi-final matches of Asia Cup being played today at Sylhet in Bangladesh. India were 46 for 1 in 5 overs against Thailand in the first semi-final a short while ago. Earlier, Thailand won the toss and elected to bowl first. The second semi-final will be played between Pakistan and Sri Lanka from 1 p.m. IST. The final will be played on the 15th of this month between the winners of both the semi-finals. At the International Shooting Sport Federation ISSF World Championship Shotgun, India finished 5th with 1 gold, 1 silver and 2 bronze medals in Osijek, Croatia.
Now let's have a look at the weather across the country today. National capital Delhi will have partly cloudy sky. Temperature will hover between 19 and 32 degrees Celsius. Mumbai is likely to have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature was 24 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 34 degrees. Kolkata will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature was 26 degrees Celsius and maximum will be around 34 degrees. Chennai is expected to have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Minimum temperature was 26 degrees Celsius and maximum will be around 33 degrees. Jammu will have mainly clear sky. Srinagar will have mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Muzaffarabad will have mainly clear sky. Bengaluru and Thiruvananthapuram will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Imphal, Agartala, Gangtok and Kohima will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. All the dailies are mentioned about the cabinet approval ensuring unhindered supply of domestic cooking gas. Oil PSUs to get 22,000 crore rupees grant to offset LPG losses, reports the Economic Times. To nurture innovation and entrepreneurship culture, a first-of-its-kind technology business incubation centres coming up in NIT Srinagar, cites the Tribune. A headline in The Hindu writes about Madhya Pradesh to become the first state to provide medical education in Hindi under the headline Home Minister to launch Hindi version of first-year MBBS books on October 16th. The Indian Express mentions about a report indicating a red alert with 69% dip in wildlife in 5 decades. Government to clear semiconductor unit proposals in next 30-60 days, writes The Pioneer. The Times of India writes, as CJI, Chandrachud will head a 6-member collegium instead of the usual 5-member one. And finally, a racket signed by Thomas Cup winner K. Srikanth gets highest bid at 51 lakh rupees at PM Memento's auction, reports Hindustan Times.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. President Draupadi Murmu to flag off 2 train services in Northeast today, to also inaugurate supercomputer facility at IIT Guwahati. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to flag off Vande Bharat Express today to connect Una in Himachal Pradesh with national capital, to also dedicate Indian Institute of Information Technology Una to the nation. Union Cabinet approved 78 days wages as bonus to railway employees. Multi-State Cooperative Societies Amendment Bill 2022 also gets Cabinet approval. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says growth will be among top priorities of 2023-24 Union Budget. Government forms expert committee to probe WHO report on deaths of children in Gambia following consumption of made in India cough syrups. US and India to work together to support shared vision of free and open Indo-Pacific, says Biden administration's national security strategy. UN General Assembly adopt resolution condemning annexation of 4 Ukrainian regions by Russia. And in cricket, both semi-final matches of Women's Asia Cup being played today at Sylhet in Bangladesh. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.